Hello and welcome back to Resident Evil HD Remaster, the Let's Play with me, Rambler. Right then, I have tried to record this next part of the game already, but then my computer decided to have a hissy fit over some Norton antivirus updates. Yay! Which it does from time to time, so unfortunately for me, trying to record a video and get it out sooner just didn't happen because yay. And also this game is a bitch to record for some bizarre reason, even with Bandicam. So there you go. Anyway, I've had an hour break. I've been watching some other YouTube videos and stuff, and I feel more relaxed and composed to try this again, hopefully without any real significant problems. So last time we went and explored the caves, and it wasn't very pleasant. It was quite tense, at least for me, and we discovered some more things about that creature in chains. And some very disturbing revelations as well. She was being infected with some sort of virus, the progenitor virus, along with her mother. And it turns out her mother was exterminated, I suppose, to use quite a harsh word there, but terminated would be better. Very similar. Because for some reason they didn't quite get the results from her that they wanted, that being Umbrella, but with Lisa they observed continuous results, and as a result it changed her to the creature we saw down below. We also found out that she found out her mother was fake, that being after her experiments. Her mother that she met afterwards was a fake, implying her real one had gone missing. And she took her face and killed her and all that MacGuffin. So yeah, not pleasant things, sadly, going on with Lisa and her mother. And yeah, it didn't end well. Hello, how you doing, sir? I think he's observing the wildlife and the surroundings to contemplate his life so far. That, as his past former self of being a resident at this mansion, and also now a member of the undead. I'm going to leave him alone, because I don't think he's doing any harm. Oh, well, I think I angered him a bit there, but that's okay. I'm going to leave him there, because he's not doing anything. He's just contemplating his new life. It'd be rude for me to blow his brains out. You know, it's just, he's not going to cause any harm to anyone. It's not like as if he's going to wander through the forest, end up at the city and cause problems. Now then, as we're going back to the mansion, you've got to be careful. This area, which had crows before, now has some reanimated zombies. You just want to walk past them or run past them and just leave them alone, because we're never going to come back this way again now, at least with Chris anyway. It's all done now. Leave this area. Forget it. It's a waste of bullets. Or shells in this case. So yeah, we are now going to use this stone and metal object we got. Well, at least we got the stone ring, we already had the metal bit, but we combine the two together, along with the other one we found a long time ago, because we're now coming towards the end point of the game, or at least the ending part anyway, which may be good for some of you. For me though, it's a little bit sad, because I like playing this game. You know, I've played it now about 4 or 5 times over the last year or two, and I enjoy it every time. You know, I like this game. I don't know why. There's something about this version of Resident Evil that I never get tired or bored of. Don't know why. But there you go. Anyway, we can grab this metal stone object again. And now that door is locked, and we never have to go through it again like I said before, a few minutes ago. So goodbye area of residence and waterfalls and the graveyard zombies and crows. There, they can all F off. What we now need to do is go and use these stone and metal objects, and we need to return to a place we've been to many times, but in particular a place that I've probably only shown you once in passing, to go and place our objects in. So we're going to come this way because it's the quickest way to the area I want to get to, since we've unlocked it with the old key and all that. You know, it's a shortcut, might as well use it, especially after all the kerfuffle I've had so far trying to get all the old keys and yet using them in the wrong bloody places, or well, you can't use them in the wrong places, but using them in the wrong order anyway. If you're going to play this game blind, obviously, then you don't know what order that is. But if you're not playing it blind, then you should have a route in mind as to when to use the old keys for which appropriate doors. But anyway, I digress and ramble. So we're in the main hall. We're going to come around the back here, underneath the stairs, back to this gate, the one with the eerie moany sound that we've now discovered was Lisa, the monster in chains that can't be killed. And we're going to put our stone and metal objects in this doorway. I have no idea how this doorway works on this stone and metal object system, like how the door unlocks and what have you, or the gates I should say even, but I'm overthinking these things. It's a Resident Evil game. I'm sure there's similar doors or gates with a similar electronic locking system or whatever. There's a locking system where things like that can happen, I would imagine. Anyway, we're now descending once again. And we're going to put our shotgun away now. We're not going to be using it really for probably, I wouldn't say the rest of the game per se, but we can use the pistol quite safely now. We've got so many bullets for it, it would be silly not to. So that's what we're going to do. We're also going to... Where did I put it? I've probably gone past it. Ah, yes, the fuel canteen. We're going to take that with us as well. Or do we need to take it with us, actually? No, we won't take it with us at this point. No, we'll put it away. We will need it, but we can do without it for a little while. Right, we're going to equip our piston. We're going to carry on going down these steps, or this stairway, whatever you want to call it, with the flickering lights and the dripping water and the insects on the ground. And look, we're going back into caves again. Yeah, if you thought you were sick and tired of caves in the last video, yeah, there's more. Oh yeah, there's more. Oh, and a wooden rickety way as well, just for your pleasure. So yeah, we're going down further. Right, candles, more caves. Not a good omen. Also a ladder. There's nothing else up here, so just go straight down this ladder.
You're a bit of a mess up.
Excuse me, I do try, you know. Oh, you mean... Oh, I see. Oh, hello. I thought you were back in the caves earlier. How did you get here? Well... whatever you do, don't bother trying to fight it. Just ignore it, let Wesker do his thing. Just try and avoid Lisa at all costs. Now, she has a tendency to do that, which can be really problematic. And I'm probably going to get whacked. Yep, I could have probably dodged that if I was a little careful. And now she's very upset. That's not good. Now, what I'm doing, as you may have noticed, I'm pushing these stone things away. Come on, quickly, before we die. Come on, do it. Come on, Wesker, delay it further. Yes, there we go. I'll explain more in a second what's happened. Just observe and take it all in. Well, that happened. Yeah, this area, you may be thinking to yourself, what the bloody hell's all this about? What is going on, and why did you do the stone ting and all that MacGuffin? Or if you've already played this game, you're like Neo, just get on with it, in which case, fair enough. This place was described, actually, in the last note we found in the previous video, when we went through the caves and we found like a little underground residence with the candles and the dolls and the lakey bit with the snakes and the bedroom and stuff. This is basically where Lisa's mother was buried, and she's been here a few times since, and she's written it down in the notes we read, but she couldn't get the coffin to open to see if her mother was really in there because of these stone pillars, which for some reason it never occurred to her to push them off. But there you go. So basically what we've done is just taken advantage of that information. We've ended up here and we've knocked the stone pillars off to open the coffin. And as Lisa said just then, she was able to talk, mind you, which is interesting for an undead creature. She went, "Mother!" Took the skull out, which I assume was the skull of her mother, and then decided to jump down there and, yeah, go somewhere. God knows where. So there you go. Thanks, Wesker, for your help.
I'll investigate this area a little further.
Well, that sounded menacing. There's nothing else to investigate here, Wesker. I mean, there's the coffin. I can do that for you. Inside the coffin is a skeleton. Wait, there's something else. Family picture. I've seen this picture many, many times now. How they've got so many copies of it, I don't know. It's a letter. I'm sorry for the dogs barking. Once again, they just do. To my Lisa, day by day I can feel my consciousness drifting further away. The shots given to me by men in white clothes made some of Mummy's itching go away. Today they gave me another shot saying it was nutrition. When they give me the shots, Mummies can think straight. But Mummy's shocked and sad because Mummy's unable to think of you all the time. Mummy's afraid of forgetting everything, especially the memories of you and Daddy. What your faces look like, how we used to be together. All starting to disappear into somewhere dark in my mind. Oh Lisa, I wish I could touch your face and hold you in my arms right now. There's some sort of obsession with faces going on in this family, but whatevers. There's other fetishes I can think of that's worse. So that I can hold on to our wonderful memories of you and Daddy. Lisa, we can't stay here any longer. We have to escape. Listen to me, Lisa. Our chance to escape is the next time when we go to that lab together. We'll both pretend that we are both unconscious, and when the man in white clothes is off guard, that will be our chance. When we're on the outside, let's look for Daddy together, okay, sweetie? Be strong, Lisa. Jessica Trevor, November 13th, 1967. Unfortunately, however, from the notes we read in the last video, Jessica is dead. They terminated her when they injected her with the progenitor virus, and it didn't do what they wanted it to do. However, Lisa, well, they observed constant results. And that's just what basically happened now with those results when we confronted Lisa just then. Anyway, the story of the Trevor family did not end well. Right, we'll leave Wesker here to do his further investigation because this place surely needs more investigating. We're going to go on ahead. How beat up are we? Oh, we're pretty beat up, but we should be fine for this next bit. I'm not too worried. So we've got this corkscrew elevator, as I like to call it, or curly-whirly elevator, because it goes round like that for some bizarre reason. Don't know why. Probably so then it can actually face the right direction when it leaves, and now we're outside somewhere. The sounds of the crickets, or was it owls, is it? And the dogs, coyotes. There's a large iron door and it won't budge because, yeah, why would it? And now we end up in this weird area and it's got a giant pool or pond or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there's nothing else here, really. You know, you can walk all the way around, there's no items, there's really nothing to it. You just go around and round and that's it. So, dead ends, right? No, of course not. Basically, if you go around to the edges of the pool, you'll come across these little altars and it says a circular depression. There's an eagle-shaped emblem carved inside. Make sure you bring these medals with you. I did put them in my inventory, but I didn't really make the comment. Make sure you do. And you want to put them in these recesses that are in these, well, I say altars. I don't really know what else to describe. Decorations, I guess. So one on each side, one for each medal. Make sure you get it the right way around. And then we get a low-res cutscene. Although back in the day when this came out on the GameCube, it was a bit more high-res than this, I think. Yes, the lake has been drained, the stairway has been revealed, and now we descend even further down underground, because this game isn't already obsessed with that already in terms of the underground concept. The sign reads, "Will not open unless in first class emergency. If you're in second class emergency, go to your post office and upgrade your stamps." So there you go. Remember that, children. Some ink ribbon on the floor. Also a typewriter. If only Chris would actually pick up the ink ribbon. That's in front of him. That would be great. Damn it, Chris! There we go. Probably because he's injured, though. I shouldn't be too hard on him. There's also an item box here as well. We're going to make use of that. First off, though, we're going to put our ink ribbon away. We've got 16 now, which is more than enough. We're also going to take some herbs. And we're going to take our... I if I can find it. The fuel canteen. Right. Now then, let's huff some herbs. Let's go on ahead. For we now descend into the final area of the game. To where all this started. Now then, be careful. I've got pistol for one reason and one reason only. There are zombies here. Quite a few of them, and they're quite fast. But we just blew his head off there, so that makes things better. Now then, what we want to do is, there's about 3 zombies here. We want to take out these 3 zombies. There's one there. Notice he's got a lab coat on, and a badge as well. This zombie takes a lot of punishment, so be careful. Takes about 10 to 12 shots, I think. Actually, no, that's a lie. When I did this the first time, he took 3 shots. This time he's taken 10. What a greedy git. There's also some herbs here as well, which we're going to pick up just now, as we are. And we'll put them away in the item chest in a little while. Now then, be careful. There's another zombie. He's around this corner. Try and get him activated. We're going to get him to come around here because I want to see if I can show off something, if it's possible. I actually did this in the first attempt at doing this video, and it's annoying that I can't show you it because it was by fluke, but it confirmed a few things. It confirmed something about this game that a lot of LPs I've watched of this game have really failed to do recently. So I'm going to try and recreate it here. I doubt I'm going to be able to do it though, but we'll see what we do. Go. Oh. Okay, we won't be able to do it here, sadly. The first time I did this, only the one zombie's head blew up. This time, we've had 2 blew up, which is actually alright in a way, because it saves us some kerosene. But you want to make sure in this area, before I go off on the thing I was just talking about then, you want to take out these zombies. You want to make this way clear, because we're going to be going back and forth this area a few times, just to drop stuff off in our item chest and stuff. So do that, okay? Now, the thing I was talking about was that in the first attempt at doing this, I actually managed to get 2 zombies to fall on top of one another once I'd killed them, so that their bodies were extremely close together, like literally they were on top of one another. And then when I went to use the fuel canteen to burn them, I didn't just burn the one zombie's body, I actually burnt 2 at the same time. So I actually burnt 2 zombies with 1 kerosene fuel. Now, there's lots of rumours before I did this going around. I'm sure there's video evidence as well. I just never came across it in my experience of YouTube. But a lot of the LPs I've watched, who I watch regularly, who did this game, have never been able to do it, even though they've all sworn that they could do it in the GameCube version. So there was some speculation that maybe it was a glitch in the GameCube version and they corrected it for the HD Remaster version of the game. But that's not the case. I was able to burn 2 zombie bodies with 1 kerosene, and you can do that, and it's really good if you can do it because it saves you on kerosene and therefore eliminates the chance of you running into combos at a later date if you've either ran out of fuel to burn the zombie bodies or you've just forgotten. But it's really hard to do, so my advice to you is not to try and do it. Just don't bother. It's really difficult. It might be easier on the GameCube version, but on this version and the Xbox 360 version I played with my sister, it's really hard. Don't try it. Okay. So yeah, but you can do it. I got an achievement for it as well, but I can't show it off, sadly. Well, I could actually, I suppose, but I won't bother. But there's an achievement to do it if you can. Right, anyway, so we've descended down the steps, and we've ended up into what this place is called the laboratory. And we were at Laboratory Base 2, we're now in Laboratory Base 3. Basement 3. We're going to make use of this area quite rigorously. This is where it all happened. Why the zombies came to be, why we have hunters, how it all started. It all happened here. Because, yes, basically. Now, if you come down this doorway that we just went through, there's a big iron door here. It's locked. If you can just get those levers on the side to work, it should open. Alright, let's go and check them out. Levers for releasing the door locks. Now, if you can just release the locks on the levers, you can't actually do anything to this door and these levers here. You've got to do something else to them later on, and it concerns these MO discs. 3 red lights, 3 MO discs. make sure you've got that one back in the mansion behind the tiger head, because if you haven't, you're going to have to double back and get it. However, you don't need these discs to complete the game. You really don't. These are just purely optional, but I would advise doing it, and you'll see why later, unless you've already played this game, and therefore you know. Anyway, there's another doorway here we can go through. The other door that we just passed is locked. Take my word for it, it's locked. You can't go through it yet. Now, if you come into this room here, we're in an X-ray room, or a mini lab, so to speak. I don't know, a computer room, or just a workstation, whatever you want to call it. And there's X-rays dotted around. There's 2 in front of us, and there's 1 on the side here, which you can pick up, and I advise you do. There's also a memo on the message board, which catches Chris's attention, and you can see that it's a diagram of some sort of human system. I say some sort of, I mean somebody's human system, obviously the human one. And you've got certain parts of the body labelled. You've got lungs, esophagus, liver, stomach, large intestine, blah blah blah. Basic Biology 101. If you don't know it, well, you do. The one at the bottom that's obscured by the text that's being said there is the colon, if you didn't know that. Right, so anyway, if you come over here by the computer, there is a researcher's letter. June the 8th, 1998. My dearest Ada, by the time you read this letter, I will no longer be the person you once knew. The results of my tests came out today, and as I suspected, it came out positive. I feel like I am teetering on the edge of reason just thinking about my impending doom. I would give anything not to have become one of them. He's implying that he's infected with the T virus, or whatever it was. As far as I know, you are not infected. I sincerely hope things do not reach such a desperate pass. But if it has turned out that you are now the last person remaining alive, I want you to get the material from the visual data room. Then activate the self-destruct system in the power room and escape from here. Please do everything in your power to make this whole accident public. If everything is still running normally, you should be able to release all the locks using the security system. I've set up the terminal in the small security room so that you can log into the system using my name and your name as the password. You will need another password to release the lock of the door in basement level 2 where the visual data room is located. As a safety measure, I've coded that password into an X-ray picture. Whatever that word is, I can't pronounce it. I know you, and I'm sure you'll be able to work it out without any trouble. There's just one more thing, and it's my last request. I hope you never have to lay eyes on me in this state, but if you do happen to run into me in my hideous form, I beg you to put me out of my misery. I hope you understand. Thank you, Ada. Yours truly, John. Another sad story, another victim of the outbreak. And then Chris says, John, Ada. Remember those names. You really do need to remember those names. They're not too hard to remember because they're pretty simple, but do remember them. Right, anyway, these X-rays. Now then, if we have a look at them. An X-ray photograph posted on the wall. There's a name written on it on the top. Alex Beckett. An X-ray photograph. There's a name written on the top. Ed Fisher. Interesting. Now if we have a look at this X-ray we've picked up, the name's written on it. Gail Holland. Now for those of you who are quite savvy, you'll have noticed the initials of the names. AB was the first one. EF is this third one. So by logic, if we put GH over here, and then if we go and pick up this X-ray over here, this should have CD. It does. If you have a look at that, if you could see it, it says for the name Clark David. You want to put these X-rays in alphabetical order, or at least initial order. So let's do it. Now then, all 4 X-rays are in their proper places. It's not hard to do. Now actually, if we come back here, if I read the text at the bottom, which I forgot to do, it says there's something scrawled on the notepad. To use the electronic door, place the initials in alphabetical order, which we've just done. So that's the clue to make you realise you need to put the X-rays in alphabetical order in terms of the initials of the people's names. And once you've done that, there's a little switch here that we came across. You can interact with it, and if you press it, it puts the room in this sort of red light. And now the X-rays all show something glowing. Part of it is glowing red, part of it's glowing red, part of it's glowing red, and of course part of it's glowing red. Notice which organs are glowing red. Okay, we had the colon glow red, the esophagus glow red, the liver, and the lungs. Make sure you remember those organs in that order, as well as the names of the people in the research letter. There's nothing else to do in this room. Just double check we have picked up everything in here, which we have. We need to leave. That's what you need to do. You don't actually have to do this if you know what this is about. If you've already done this before, you can skip this room entirely. But for those of you who don't, then do that. Okay, and remember those organs: colon, esophagus, liver, lungs, and the names Ada and John. Now we're going to end up back here. Now be careful, there's a couple of zombies knocking around here. Got to be careful how we handle them. Oh, is he down already? Is he bleeding? Or is he just down? I don't know, but there's a zombie creeping up behind me. I've got to be careful. Nope, he's still up. Uh-oh, I could be ambushed. Try and get away. Oh, never mind. We got a dagger. Oh, I think he's dead. Not sure about this dude down here though. Pretty confident that dude's dead. Don't know. Can't see any blood though, but it could be the camera angle. Right, he's down. Yeah, that guy's dead. Right, so both of them are dead. Now, this is where I managed to burn both bodies at the same time. They both fell where Chris is standing now, literally on top of one another, and then when I went to burn it, I got the achievement and burnt 2 bodies. But I can't recreate it because it was a fluke, that's all. So just saying you can do it, but don't bother, it's just really difficult. But we've got enough kerosene to get us by for now, so I'm not too fussed. Okay. Gnarly. And then we've got another one here. Burn this dude. You just want to clear this way of zombos. It's just easier, that's all. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can be savvy and try and avoid them, but personally I just burn them and get rid of them. I mean, now all this way is nice and clear, so it's all good. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to double back to the item box and drop off what we've got so far. In fact, before we do that, let's open up this first aid box, see what we've got. A herb mix of 2 green herbs was inside. Ace. Now, as far as I'm aware, we don't need the kerosene fuel, the fuel canteen anymore. Don't quote me on that, but I'm going to put it away. I don't believe we need it anymore. So we won't, but I'll fill it up just in case. You never know. Right, we've basically used up all the kerosene now that we can at this point in the game. We have left some behind, but at this point, this is all that's left, you know. I'm not going to go all the way back through the mansion to get the rest of the kerosene, because again, I don't think we need it. So we'll put it away filled up just in case. Actually, while we do, we'll go down here with it. We'll put our MO disc there. And what we'll do is with this green herb mix, we'll combine it with another green herb and make another full heal. And then put that away as well. Because we can. We've got so much health now at this point. I'm really comfortable with being able to finish this game properly. I'm just annoyed that we had to use a first aid spray. It really doesn't matter at this point. You know, I mean, I've used up way too many ink ribbons to get a good save rank, and to get an even better rank at the end of the game, you need to do it in record time as well. So you need to not only speed run it, but not save the game and not use any first aid sprays. It's a hard task, but it can be done if you're professional, which I'm not, so I'm not going to bother. Anyway, let's go back down to this murky depths of Laboratory Basement 3. There is a couple of doors where we just were, but you can't unlock them at this point. We need to... well, you can't go through them. They're locked. We need to unlock them, basically, which we're going to do in a bit. So we can come around here. I think there's something up on here. Yep, there's a dagger here. We'll grab that. I think this area is now free of items. It is. So, yeah, there's a hidden dagger there by the shelves, but make sure you pick it up. Don't know if at this point in the game it's actually any use, but you never know. Right, we can't go through that door, and we can't go through these doors here. They're locked, so ignore them. What we can do, though, is come up this way and go through these doors. Right. Not sure what room we're in, but I think it's another lab area, and it's not a pleasant one. As you can see, there's blood on the floor, which is a good start. Part of a corpse lies on the operating table. Isn't that lovely? However, you may have noticed there's some magnum rounds on the floor. Please pick them up. Please do that. I think most of you will. All of you will. Nobody's dumb to leave them behind. Now, there's a computer over here that's actually on. We're going to look at that in a second, but first there's a document here. The V-Act, or Researcher's Note. There is now evidence that when the host loses consciousness, the body goes into a dormant state. During this time, the virus becomes active and rapidly transforms and reconstructs the basic composition of the body. The host eventually mutated into a humanoid creature, which we call V-Ax. Its speed and amazing muscular development are particularly noteworthy. After transformation, it becomes more agile and aggressive. Already 4 of our researchers have died from trying to feed it, turning the place into an instant bloodbath. Ever since this tragic and barbaric accident, we have decided to call this kind crimson heads. Or crombos, if you've been following my slang. That dangerous and precious prototype specimen can't be left there. We have to figure out a way to deal with it. Termination is definitely not an option. You are a very, very twisted researcher. We finally decided to freeze the specimen and confine the body inside the basement of the backyard cemetery. The backyard cemetery that we unlocked with the golden emerald arrowhead, the one that we had to take the 4 masks down to lower a coffin from the ceiling to release a crombo inside that was, now that we found out from notes, George Trevor. So that researcher's note confirmed what or how that crombo ended up in that coffin in that basement cemetery area near the beginning of the game. Yeah, they put him there because they were sick. The researchers, that is, the ones that were alive anyway, because they didn't want to terminate their precious specimen. Goody goody fecking gun drops. But anyway, I digress. There's a couple of items here. Also a variety of chemicals that Chris has never seen before. There's a first aid box and a flash grenade. Might as well pick them up while we can. If you do open up this first aid case, I believe there's a single green herb. Yep, there's a green herb inside, so there you go. How it transformed from a packet to that, I've no idea, but whatevers. And here is a really disturbing sight. These are frozen, zombified corpses. The cavaliers are frozen, wrapped in body bags. This one's a female one, because you can tell from the nipples of the boobies. But yeah, all of these are frozen zombos. Possibly crombos, don't know, but yeah. This place is just sick. Sick, 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 sick. Both via the infection that was released from the virus that occurred in the lab, and also from the minds of the researchers. Who's really the bigger monster here? I'll leave that for you to decide. Anyway, we can interact with this computer. Woo! Right, okay. Now then, to log in, we need to remember those 2 names, John and Ada. John is the username. So we'll type that into our wonderful keyboard here of the 90s. Then press enter, and then you can enter your password. It is Ada. Yay! Awesome. There's some text at the back there which I've never been able to read properly, but I think it's to do with herbs. So there you go. I think we've read it already. It's basically notes that we've already picked up in the study room with the dog's collar and stuff much earlier on. Yeah. Anyway, once you've put in the passwords, the John and Ada bit, you'll get access to basement, 2nd floor, and basement, 3rd floor. Now, these basically unlock the doors that are locked that I've shown you earlier. But to unlock basement, 2nd floor doors, you need to type in the password. The password comes from that X-ray puzzle thing, whatever it was that we just did. Remember the organs: colon, esophagus, liver, and lungs. All you have to do is take the initials of each of those words, and they spell out each of those labels of an organ, and they spell out a word, and that word is cell. So if you type cell, oops, if you type cell in as the password, yay, we get access now to the unlocked doors in the 2nd area, which it shows us on this map. Now, if we do basement, 3rd floor, they're unlocked as well. So there we go. Epic. So now we can quit the computer because that's everything you need to do with it, and now we've unlocked all the doors that we've come across so far. I haven't shown you they were locked, but trust me, they're locked. The only one that's still locked is the door with the 3 lever mechanism. We'll have to deal with that at a later date. Now before we go, I just want to double check that there's something else here, and if there is, I'm going to have to do a bit of backtracking. There might be something in here, but I can't remember. I don't know if it's back all the way here. No. Okay, forget it. Forget what I'm saying. We've done everything in this room for now. Let's get out of here. It's a creepy room. I don't like it. I'm just glad that there's no, you know, monsters or zombies or creatures lurking around, and they're all frozen up. Thank God for that. At least they did one thing right. It's so disturbing though, but I'll take it. Right then, now then, we can go and investigate some of these doors we've now unlocked. This door here, we can investigate. This door here, we can investigate. And if we go back on ourselves, there's another door that's down this double door corridor we went to that we can now go through as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to end up going back to the item box. I need to put some stuff away, and I'm sorry for all the backtracking. It is necessary, sadly, in this area, because Chris doesn't have very much item space. If I'd have planned this a bit better, obviously I could have reduced that, but you know, I'm not a professional. So let's go back. We'll drop off some items. We'll drop off that herb we've got. Steam, evil music. I always find this place really creepy. It is, even when I first played this and all that. This part of the game has always made me unnerved. It's very eerie. I wouldn't say scary, but it's very unnerving. And the music really complements it as well. It's just like, what the F is going on here? I just hope that in real life this isn't happening, but you never know. Anyway, what we will do is, I'm just thinking now, I'm going to put the pistol away now, and I'm going to take our shotgun back out, and I'm also going to take with me the MO discs. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to put these back for a second. Just trying to think about, I'm not quite 100% sure now what items we need at this point. This is as far as I got with the first attempt, so going a little bit further. So we'll see how far we can get before the game messes up. But so far, everything seems to be running nice and smoothly, so that's good. Anyway, what we're going to do is, now that we've backtracked, we're going to go over here where the one zombie was. Now, there's a double set of doors there, which I didn't show you, but they were locked before. But now that we've messed around with the computer, they are now unlocked, and we're going to go inside and take a peek. Because why not? What other horrors await through these doors? Well, a first aid spray for a start. That's quite handy. And something else over here. Now, I don't believe there's anything of threatening note in here, so we can be fine. Ah, another MO disc. Marvellous. Good times. Passcode entry terminal. Use it? Not just yet. I'll leave the first aid spray there for a second. It's not like we need it. Oh, there's a map of the laboratory. Take it. Oh, there we go. Now we've got a map of the entire laboratory. And there's still quite a few rooms to go through yet. And a basement floor bit as well. So we're only about, what, part of the way through? Third of the way? Just over that? Nearly half? Yeah. Some shotgun shells. Very nice. Love them. Also security protocols. Level 1. Heliport for executive use only. This restriction does not apply in the event of an emergency. Basement level 1. Passage to heliport / entry is prohibitive unless accompanied by a consultant researcher or the chief of security. Unauthorized persons entering the heliport will be shot on sight. So even this company, Umbrella, don't really treat their people nicely or with respect in an emergency. That's nice of them. Not. The elevator / elevator stops during emergencies. Basement level 2. Visual data room / for use by the Special Research Division only. All other access to the visual data room must be cleared with Keith Arving, room manager. Basement level 3. Prison / sanitation division controls the use of the prison. At least one consultant researcher, E. Smith, S. Ross, A. Wesker, must be present if viral use is authorized. Triple lock door / entry into the room is limited to the sole person who deactivates the lock with all of the pass codes. Accessing the exclusive output terminals located in each section of the senior researchers deactivates the lock. Power room / in this room, nitro compound is used as the primary fuel source of power. Access is limited to headquarters supervisors. This restriction may not apply to consultant researchers with special authorization. Passcode output terminals / use and access to the output terminals is limited to authorized senior researchers. There's a lot of reading here. Basement level 4. Regarding the progress of Tyrant after the administration of T-virus, illegible hereafter. Right. Something about triple lock door, which we've already come across. We need to activate it by going to terminals located in senior researchers' labs. Power room. Something to do with the compound. Okay. But here, A. Wesker. We know an A. Wesker. And apparently that A. Wesker's a researcher. It's not a very common name, Albert Wesker, or A. Wesker, I should say, if A stands for Albert. A screen fused with a movie projector. I see. Right. Well, there's nothing else we can do here for now. We've got to leave, and we'll come back to it later. What we will do, I think we can't anyway. Just double, triple check. I think there might be something over here. No, it looks like a door, but it's not. It's just part of a wall. Okay. The film has been set into place. View it. Oh, right, it's film. Umbrella, bioorganic weapon official report. Lovely. MA39 Cerberus. Oh, goody! They knew about them. F103 or FI03 Neptune the Shark. MA121 Hunter. Oh, goody! They've been making these on purpose. T002 Tyrant. Is that a zombie? I don't know. Dun dun dun! I recognise that haircut and glasses and puckered face. So Albert Wesker was a researcher at Umbrella Labs. Who da funk it? There's also a barcode there at the end. Well, well, well. So Albert Wesker works for Umbrella, or at least used to, because he's now a policeman. So he knows about this place then. That's interesting. Wonder why he hasn't told us that. I don't know. Right, anyway, backtracking once again. We're gonna let me think. We're gonna take the one MO disc with us. And we'll put the first aid spray away. Because we've got some more doors to explore. Or more rooms, I should say. At least now, I mean, look at the health we've got. It is absolutely redonkulous. And no, this isn't easy mode. This is normal mode. So, you know, just look at the beginning of the LP. I haven't changed the difficulty as we've progressed throughout this game. I promise you that. I've done very well. Anyway, let's carry on. We'll go on a bit further. We'll go and check out those other doors we've unlocked. So, and if we bump into Wesker, I should say, I think we might have to have some words with him, with our good friend Mr. Shotty as Invigilator. Yes. Anyway, hopefully it's, I don't know. Hopefully it's not as big as it is, or at least it's not as an issue. It's not as big as an issue as it's been made out to be. You know, Albert Wesker working for Umbrella. It can't be. You know, well, it can be. We obviously showed it, but. Maybe he left before it all came to be? I don't know. When we bump into him, we'll ask our questions. Anyway, we can go through this doorway, which we will. Zombo. It's a naked Zombo. I think that's the only Zombo. There might be another one. There's also some Magnum ammo, which we'll take. Good, so there is 30 Magnum ammo then. At least in the normal difficulty. I think there's 30 anyway. But that's really good, because I never got all 30. I'm happy with that. There might be another Zombo over here. Have I got my daggers equipped? I have. Oh, no, I don't think so. No, we're good. Okay. Facts to Sanitation Division. Attention, Manager of Sanitation from Raccoon Disaster Contingency Committee. The context of this fax are confidential and intended for the named addressee only. Any copying or disclosure of the contents of this fax, don't know why I failed to pronounce that word there, to any third party is strictly forbidden by the sender. After reading the contents of this fax, it must be destroyed immediately. Well, they failed with that, didn't they? We expect a significant increase in the damage done by the recent T-virus outbreak than initially estimated. There are several concerns. First concern, more than half the researchers have been infected by the T-virus and died. It's also been reported that almost all of the survivors of this accident are starting to show symptoms of the T-virus infection. Second concern, our secret security patrol team has also been completely eradicated. Therefore, our most secret research is in danger of public disclosure. Quick actions are demanded to prevent mass media coverage. Third concern, there's a high possibility that most of the specimens are running loose inside the compound. We expect many casualties to follow. However, yet unfortunate, these casualties underscore the success of our research results. Actions must be taken to prevent our research results from being made public. We suspect the first official intervention will come from the state police and STARS. We strongly recommend taking measures against them first. Okay, so they knew that the police and STARS were going to get here and intervene. Security system passcode transmission device. If you had an MO disc, you can transmit the passcode to the system. Now then, these devices here are what we need to put our MO discs in. Now in the GameCube version they look like little GameCubes, but since then Capcom have changed them to just looking like normal things. So you can whack any MO disc in, there's no order, just put it in. And that's unlocked one of those levers. Transmitting the passcode seems to have unlocked something. good times. Now there's 2 more of those to find, as I've said. We'll find those in due course. We've also picked up a slide filter, which we're going to go back to that room that we met. Well, when we found out that Wesker has been working for Umbrella all this time. There seems to be something behind the study door. Open it. Alright, why not? Warning, fuel may explode if shaken or jarred. It looks like a refueling device. Interesting. Right, anything else in this room, or have we done it all? Yeah. Now, this is what I was saying this in the first time I recorded this, but I've got it wrong. If you come across a naked zombie and you kill it, and you haven't blown its head off, you don't have to burn their bodies. They will disappear automatically. There's no naked combos in this game. Probably for censorship reasons or memory constraints at the time. You don't need to worry about naked combos. So yeah, if we come back here, one of the levers is now green, and we can actually pull down on it and unlock it, but we're not going to do that just yet. We'll come back to that later. Let's get the other 2 unlocked first. Now, again, a bit more backtracking. We're going to go back to the projector room, as we might as well call it, or the what was it, virtual data room, I think it was officially known as in the documents we've read. And we're going to go put that red filter on the projector, because that's where you need to put it. So yeah, there's a lot of backtracking in this area, but you know, we're working things out and we're gathering evidence, or at least I think we are. Anyway, what you want to do is go to the projector and grab your filter and use it in okay, maybe not. Pretty confident we're meant to put it in here. Or maybe somewhere else we're meant to put it. I'm sure it was put in front of here. Oh, it is. It's just being funny. Thanks, game. And not the ha-ha kind of funny. So, once you put the red filter on the projector, everything's all in red, as you can see. You just skip through all this, blah, 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 blah. Yes, Wesker used to work for them. Damn them. Oops. The one bit I needed to view right at the very end, I skipped through. There we go. Now remember that barcode? Well, with the red filter, only 4 numbers turn up. 8462. Which means if we go over here, passcode entries needed, we can put it in there. I thought there was a doorway or a door-like wall bit in there. Instead, it's a secret room. Will you take the laboratory key? Okay. Ooh. Some sort of image editing equipment. It looks like you can use it to view Kenneth's film. Remember that videotape we picked up ages ago from that Kenneth's body with the first zombie we met who was eating him? We could view the film!
Get away from me! No! Hey! No!
And that, children, is not how you deal with a zombie. Yeah, Kenneth had everything he needed. All he needed was a cooler head, or at least run away from him or get some space. And what did he do? He panicked and got munched. So there you go. What a brilliant member of the STARS team he was. He will be sorely missed. And no, we're not viewing the film again, because it's also rather disturbing. Right, okay. I think now that's everything in this room. It is. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to our item box once again, and I'm going to drop off the Magnum rounds, and then I'm going to save the game and call that a video, because we've been going on for some time now. And in the next video we shall continue on our exploration of this hideous, disgusting, nightmare-inducing place. I guarantee you, when I used to watch or heard of Resident Evil when I was 9, 10 years old, and I used to watch my cousin play it and my old uncle play it, although they played the second one, mind you, not the first one. Every time we got to the lab area where we found out they were making these creatures, the zombies, the virus and the hunters, it freaked me out as a kid, and I had nightmares continuously where I just thought maybe something like that was going on out there, and one of these days there's gonna be an outbreak, we're gonna have zombies and monsters, and yeah, I was not a happy bunny back then. I really wasn't. I used to get really quite vivid nightmares, and yeah, it basically fueled and created by paranoia of zombies. But because I've now exposed myself to these games more, and thanks actually to YouTube and other LPs allow me to watch other people play it and make fun of it and stuff, I've been able to grow some tolerance now of zombies. I'm a little less scared of them now, which is good. But they still freak me out. I would never want them on anybody's conscience. Ever. But anyway, that's another time. Right now, can I say thank you very much for watching this, if you have done. In the next video, we shall continue on our investigation. So until then, take it easy, have a good one, hope you're well, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.